All right. Looks like everything's working. Took a couple tries to get this going. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Live on a Monday. Hope you all had a tremendous weekend. Mine was fun. We'll also say it was interesting. And what I'll probably do is talk about that more later tonight. When I get off of work, I'll go live and talk about some House of Hardcore and talk about some other stuff that happened at the show. I know I'm here to review MLW Fusion number 33, but just bear with me for a second. So I went to the House of Hardcore show that was in Waukesha, Wisconsin, Blizzard Brawl, and I met some of my favorites. That was cool. But one thing that really distracted me from the whole evening was I ran into an old friend. And I'm not going to discuss that whole thing here, but it really threw me off. It really, like I said, it really distracted me for the rest of the evening because he and I had a falling out. And I'll discuss all that later tonight. I'm not going to do it now. I'll save the rest of this time on here this afternoon that I'm going to be on here live right now for MLW Fusion. But just to give you a heads up, I'll be going live later tonight and talking all about that. Talking about some House of Hardcore, talking about the show, and some other personal stuff. And I don't talk about a lot of personal stuff on here. So we'll crack a couple cold ones, and we'll have some fun discussing that. So we're here for hashtag MLW Mondays. Trying to keep that consistent on here. And I'm still not used to doing this during the day. I'm used to just cracking a couple cold ones and doing this all at night. And when I do these at night, they're super late at night because of when I get off of work. And sometimes it's just really hard to do that super late at night. But it is what it is. And we're slowly but surely getting used to it. And it is what it is. So, like I said, I hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you are smashing your Monday properly and starting off this week great. And I'm trying myself. So, so here's to all you out there watching us, starting out your week just like I am. I'll be watching that after I do this. Another Sammy G, excuse me, vlog. Those are always fun. Yeah, by the way, if you're not watching Sammy Guevara's vlogs on YouTube, you really should. He is one of the hottest up-and-comers, and he's also on MLW Fusion amongst other places. So much going on in wrestling right now. It's really, there's such a growing underground buzz about it right now. It's crazy. So let's get into this MLW Fusion episode number 33. 33. As one Pentagon would probably do it. Hosted by none other than Tony Schiavone. Always nice to hear him. Always gives like an old school feel to the show, which is that has been one tremendous thing that I've found this year is a couple new brands that bring a little bit of old school to the playing field. Jerry's in the chat. What's up? How you doing, Jerry? Good to see you here. Tony always bringing some, like I said, some old school and the feel of like Ring Warriors as well, which we'll get into that tomorrow. Always bringing that old school feel as well. What up? Racist Fan Rocks. How you doing? Good to see you here too. Got some viewers coming in here. All right. Perfect timing because, you know, I was kind of babbling in the beginning there. You quit your awful job. Oh, it's a rough time of year to quit a job, dude. Hope you're okay, man. Hope you're okay. Hope you get through the rest of this season okay, and that you find something else soon. Okay, best wishes on that. So yeah, let's get into this. This starts out. I had to watch this opening segment a couple times really closely because it really is you had a second job. Oh, good to hear, man. Good to hear. I heard about a fellow podcast buddy of mine losing his job, and man, that's a lousy time of year to lose a job, let me tell you. It really is. It's hard, especially when you got family and kids and stuff. So Selena De La Renta, they start out this episode and this black background, and she's sitting like Indian style on the ground, and she looks like she's grinding like two black stones together or something. It was like really hard to tell exactly. And she was like chanting something. And then all of a sudden, when she was done chanting, she showed her hands, and her hands were just full and dripping with blood. And then she licked her hand or something, and just like wicked smile on her face. It was really creepy. I mean, it was. She's been quite the presence on this show, and as far as like managers, I would put her, which is something that I've talked about a lot on here, as far as like the presence of managers in professional wrestling really disappearing from the scene, and that there are not a lot featured on television today. And the few that there are have been really strong figures, like Conan or like Famous B from Lucha Underground. Stokely Hathaway is now coming back to MLW. He's always been a strong presence on Evolve in the past few years. You know, and along with Selena De La Renta running her crew and growing that. How old is she? I don't know. I'm guessing like 20-something. But her presence on TV is always very commanding. She always looks stylish. She always looks stunning. And she's always commanding a presence out at ringside. And she doesn't have to do much to do it. That's the significant part about it. She's not always jumping up on the apron and interfering and stuff. It's very few and far between the times that she's done that. And Paul Heyman, yes, he's always been a great mind at the ringside. Right, Jerry? Yeah, I don't even watch that anymore. So I don't know what to tell you about that. That's why everybody and their uncle said last week was the worst episode ever. And it died in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. How great is that? But we'll get into that later tonight, how I think Tommy Dreamer saved wrestling in Milwaukee. How about that? Someone put that on Wiki. So yeah, this opening promo with Selena De La Renta really, I mean, they've started out shows before where she's, you know, talking with her crew or talking at um, Conan. And she's had this long going feud for several months now with Conan and her crew against his crew and stuff like that. And now it seems like she's trying to draw some darker power from somewhere else, maybe to throw off Conan, almost like some ancient Aztec ritual or something, you know, almost resembling something out of Lucha Underground. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they copied it. No, I'm not saying that. You know, whenever you do something like that to such a different show like Lucha Underground, it's I look at it as a compliment. I don't look at it as a negative thing. You think Conan will bring LAX? I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm seeing a few. You do see a few Impact people show up on MLW, and that's not a bad thing. Kurt Bauer has made it very publicly known on social media that, you know, he's trying to work with a lot of other, with his roster, working with other people, trying to make sure that dates are available for everyone. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, you know, and you've seen more and more of that this year, you know, smaller growing companies working together for a greater good, you know. And it just, like I said, it's never a bad thing. That's a good thing. So yeah, you know, and the big news going into the weekend was LAX no longer LAX and or Impact people being booked for Evolve shows, which I'm glad to hear that they Evolve made that announcement, because you know, if you're just going to bring in people to have, you know, top people from one company get buried on another, that's not, you know, it's one thing if you're working together for a greater good, trying to, you know, just create good matches. That's one thing. But if you're just bringing them in to lose, that's crap. That's not good business. That's not good business anywhere. You heard Tom injured his hand. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. In fact, the opening bout here, the opening bout is scheduled for one fall. They first talk about December 14th being live, and that's something new for MLW Fusion. That's actually going to be live on TV. And I could probably guess which matches they're going to show live on there, and we'll get to that a little later. But that is something very big for this growing company. Simon Gotch coming out doing a 10K fight challenge, and out comes this kid, Ariel Dominguez, I think his name is. I might be saying that wrong. But this was a total squash match. Simon Gotch just destroyed him. I have been following the news on Tom Lawler very closely. It looks like it's day to day with him. They have it scheduled for December. What is it? December 13th, which is just 10 days away, so a week and a half away. Yeah, he was in some MMA fight, and I heard that he broke his hand. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I've been trying to, watch the newsletters that come in and follow the page and see what last minute announcements are being made. Matches, a lot of matches that were booked a few weeks ago now have changed because different people are getting contracts this late in the year. Is very interesting. We'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, I don't know if that match between Tom Lawler and Simon Gotch is going to happen. I hope it does. But if they have to postpone it, they got to do what they got to do. I'm sure it's that big of a feud. I mean, Tom Lawler is a top guy in the company, and they are going to do what they have to do to, keep a feud alive, keep it interesting, cut promos. You can always cut promos, Demon Rocks is in the chat. Aaron Jack is in the chat. Hey, what's up? Finally get on here when you're live. Yeah, I know. It's not as easy during the day. I think I get more live people at night, depending on what I'm doing. But it's good to see you here, man. Good to see you here. Gonna be in trouble. Signed by ROH. Yeah, I was gonna get to that. Because of the time difference in the UK. Oh, okay. So it's got to be like later at night here for you right now. Jacksonville game. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things going on. Styles. Oh my God. You guys crack me up. What's up, Styles? What's up, brother from another mother? Good to see you here. So yeah, I hope that fight between Gotch and Lawler happens. That's a very interesting, and I really liked that stable. It was different, and it was a strong stable. I know that Fred Yehai is over in Japan, or was in Japan. I don't know if his tour over there is done. They usually, do like a month tour or a several week tour over there. Pick up the wife and kids. Awesome, man. Awesome. Hope your Monday is doing good. Hope you're smashing your Monday. So yeah, we'll be keeping a close eye on that. I hope Tom Lawler can make that fight. But yeah, Simon Gotch just kills this kid. He's this poor guy. Jeez Louise. Stokely Hathaway's in an interview real quick and smash that. I think you meant smash that thumbs up. The thumbs up. Yeah, smash that thumbs up button, y'all. And smash that sub button too. Be much appreciated. Yeah, I don't know. They're keeping this a big secret. I don't know if they're going to bring in something new. I don't know who Stokely is going to bring in. I'll be very curious because whoever he brings in is going to be a significant force in MLW. I predict that because he's like in Evolve. He was tied to some very powerful people. He was tied to the champ. He was tied to a very powerful team in Evolve. Now, I know this is a completely different company, completely different roster, but you've got new people showing up here all the time. 2019 is going to be a very interesting year all around in several different brands because different people are getting signed all over the place. Jerry said in the chat, yeah, PCO got signed by Ring of Honor That is one match that was coming up in a couple weeks that got changed. He was supposed to have a rematch with LA Park. That got changed to Sami Callihan. PCO, 50 years old, is having a Storytale career year in 2018. It's unbelievable. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look and bring in Moose. Baby. Who's watching Raw? Pfft, nobody. Pfft. Thumbs down for that. Don't give me a thumbs down. Give Raw a thumbs down. Screw that brand that says that Roman deserves cancer. Hypocritical piece of shit company. Oh, yeah, I said that. That's all I got to say about that. See, yeah, and I can't even watch SmackDown or NXT. It's all the same shit. I can't. I just can't. I'm done. That's why I probably support up-and-coming brands like this that are all creating little buzzes in the underground wrestling scene for themselves. That's the hot shit. Not some dying brand on Monday night that runs 3 hours too fucking long. It's bullshit. Time for the new blood like this, right? Exactly, Aaron. Exactly. Same old BS. So yeah, PCO got signed to an exclusive deal with Ring of Honor. Also, another guy who he battled on here on MLW, Brody, was it his name? Brody King? I think it's Brody King, who's actually very new to the wrestling scene. He's only in like 2 years. A lot of hot guys that have only been in the scene for a couple of years, like MJF, Chris Bay. Brody King got signed to Ring of Honor. He's going to be a new monster on there. That's crazy. If you watch Ring of Honor and you see the little heartbeat promos, the little boop, 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 that's PCO coming. Because I've been watching those promos for a couple weeks going, God, who is that? What the heck is that? But if you know PCO, he's doing this like monster gimmick where he's not human. He does all this crazy shit on his YouTube channel. The guy's really something else. In 2019. I don't know. But that's another company that's going to be going through a lot of changes next year. It's going to be nuts. So yeah, I mean, you got to think with everybody leaving, I shouldn't say everybody. It's not everybody, but a significant amount of people leaving New Japan / Ring of Honor at the beginning of next year. That leaves a lot of space and money open for places like Ring of Honor to bring in new people and sign exclusive contracts. OVE. Oh, okay. Demon Rock's always sharing some cool info on here. Oh, man. AAW. Yeah, I really want to get down to one of those shows in the coming year. They always bring in some top indie talent. So what's next year? I'm all over the place today. My goodness. Tommy Dreamer versus Brian Pillman Jr. Nice little match. Tommy Dreamer. So that's one guy I wanted to spend some time with this past weekend. Only saw him in passing, just quick said hi and told him good luck tonight. well, that night told him good luck tonight. He was in a last hardcore match ever with Abyss. We'll talk about that later tonight when we crack a couple cold ones after work tonight. He would love to see the Young Bucks give Impact Wrestling another try. We may very well see that in 2019. If they start up this new country, they're discovering a new land. If they start up this new company, and like JR said, someday there will be a company where they don't have to deal with that kind of BS. They'll have a company where they can bring in people and work with other companies. And I'm sure the priority will be for guys to stay in the company, but they'll have the freedom to work other places as well. So we'll see how this whole new company of AEW evolves. You watch the new Being Elite. Oh, it's funny. Oh, man. It's like I'm just sitting on the edge of my seat watching these now because they leave these little tidbits of information like, oh, what's coming for these guys? What's happening? TikTok. Oh. It's crazy. So yeah, Tommy Dreamer trying to beat some respect into Brian Pillman Jr. And Tommy gets the win, but Brian Pillman and Teddy Hart coming in at the end get the upper hand here. So you really didn't teach Brian anything. You just stacking chips on that kid's shoulder, and he's gonna knock them off one by one. It's really fun watching the evolution of Brian Pillman Jr. and this new Hart Foundation on this brand. It's one of the best things on this brand is seeing someone like Davey Boy Smith Jr., who's just a monster in the ring. He really is. And guys like Teddy Hart. He's really all over the place this past year and really on a road to redemption. And I should say this year has been a redemption year for Teddy Hart, going all over the place and getting respect back from the fans and the people that review shows, like this and, of course, bigger shows. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the Hart Foundation goes in 2019. As far as I know, they're all signed in some way to MLW. I know Brian Pillman is. I'm not sure about the rest of the guys. Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Teddy Hart. Between Swerve and Penta. Before Swerve signs with WWE. Yeah, I've heard about that coming. I've seen the promos for that. That looks good. I'm not sure if that already happened or if that's coming up soon. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. And then they run down the card here for the December. It's like a combo deal you can get if you're down in Florida or if you're going down to Miami for these shows. I'll quick go over these cards before we talk about the main event. Next week we're getting Sammy Guevara against the debuting Rush. I think I said it properly that time. I've been saying Rush. It looks like Rush, but they call it Rush. They should spell it ROOSH then. It's whatever. I don't know. Or RU with a little over it. I don't know. That goes way back to grade school, learning phonics and putting those symbols, whatever. I don't know. It's this Friday. Oh, well, I pick up my kids on Friday and I'm also working. So, yeah, I won't see it. If I can if I can find it somewhere else later, I may watch it. We'll see. But yeah, I'd like to see that. That'd be pretty good. So let's go over these cards real quick. We've got Never Say Never and 0 Hour. Part of 0 Hour is going to end up being live. That's the one that they're talking about. But the day before, Never Say Never, on the 13th of December, you've got Pentagon versus Teddy Hart. That's going to lead to Lucha Brothers versus the new Hart Foundation for tag team titles somewhere down the road. Can't wait for that. Probably early next year. That's my guess. Someone in the chat talked about that 2-hour show that's coming up in February. That should be pretty good. Might be another live one. Who knows? Filthy Tom Lawler versus Simon Gotch. That one's on the fence, I think, depending on the condition of Simon Gotch. Hopefully, I mean, not Simon Gotch, Tom Lawler. Psh, dear God. That's what happens when you don't have enough coffee. You got that other pot going yet? Obviously not. And I have you around for why? Oh, this guy. This is cold, by the way. You suck. Back to this card. We got LA Park versus, now, like I said, this card changed a little bit because of injuries and contracts and stuff. LA Park was supposed to be against PCO. It is now against Sami Callihan. Can't wait to see that. And that's one guy who's been flopping back and forth between Impact Wrestling and MLW and House of Hardcore. We just saw him on Saturday night. We'll talk about that later tonight. He's all over the place. It's awesome. Roosh versus Shane Strickland. Oh, my God. That's going to be cuckoo. One of his last matches before getting snatched up by NXT. Hopefully that match will still happen. You know how they yank people out of the indies. Oh, no, that match isn't going to happen now. Card's subject to change. We'll just cross our fingers as fans of wrestling and hope that that match still happens. The debut, 2-night debut, you can say that, of Dragon Lee, making his debut in MLW. Very excited. We got a couple debuts coming up here. Dragon Lee versus Rich Swann. That one's going to tear the house down. DJZ, another debut. All sorts of debuts. This is crazy. Versus Hijo de LA Park, son of the park. And another debut of Andrew Everett versus another debut of Desmond Xavier. Oh, my God. If you're living in Miami, and Styles, I know you're at least in Florida. You're on the other side of Florida, but you should really go to these. And I know it's before Christmas, but you should still go to these. Then you can come on here and tell me about them. That'd be cool. The next night, run over this quickly, 0 Hour, the 14th of December. Like I said, part of this card is going to be live. Tommy Dreamer versus Brian Pillman Jr., Part 2. This one's going to be a Singapore cane match. Roosh versus Rich Swann. AC, okay, here, this one they're going to have to, like I said, reinforce the rings. Oh, my God. 800 pounds plus in this ring, folks. You ready for this? AC Romero versus Barrington Hughes. Oh, my God. They're going to have to reinforce the damn building. And I mean that in a loving way. I mean, these are two big boys, okay? Barrington Hughes is just under 500 pounds. AC Romero's over, or just about 400 pounds. And that's just going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. Dragon Lee versus DJZ. That one's going to be crazy. God, I mean, these cards just get better and better. Low Key versus Conan. That's going to be for the MLW Championship. Conan is coming out of retirement match. And then the ladder match, which is probably going to also bring the building down. MJF. Now, I don't know if MJF is going to be ready for this one or not. I didn't hear what, or I should say, I don't remember what his injury is. I don't know if this match is changing or not. But it's supposed to be a ladder match for the middleweight championship. MJF defending against Kota Brazil, Jason Cade, Andrew Everett, and Desmond Xavier. Good night, folks. That's going to be sick. So I'm guessing at least the last two of these are going to be live on television. That's a guess, but I would put that on television as a live special thing. That'd be insane. All right, let's talk a little bit about this main event that we got for the MLW Tag Team Championships. Lucha Brothers defending Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix versus Los Parks, LA Park and his son, Hijo de LA Park, son of La Park. Man, this was not looking good for the Lucha Brothers at first. No, sir. The first, this was a solid 20-minute match, which was tremendous. The first 10 minutes were all just beating the snot, amongst other bodily fluids, out of out of the Lucha Brothers. Oh, man. They broke chairs in this match. They broke tables. They had tables that did not break. Oh. And Tony Schiavone is usually very, he gets excited and he's, he has his like JR-esque moments where he talks like this, he gets real excited. But he said something so simple and so funny during this match. Selena De La Renta started getting really fired up at ringside, and she was talking all sorts of smack to Brandon Tully. Man, Brandon Tully really takes a lot of shit in a lot of these shows. My goodness, this poor ref. Between Impact Wrestling and MLW Fusion, wow, he gets no respect. He's like the Rodney Danger. He's becoming the Rodney Dangerfield, rest in peace, of refs. Seriously, it's crazy. Get no respect. I'm showing my age because I love old classic comedians like that. Crazy. So she's, going off on the ref and all this stuff, and I don't know what she was all saying. She was just really going off and, just all attitude. Whereas most of the time, like I said, she's usually pretty conservative. But Tony, he goes, wow, she's doing a lot of bitching tonight. I was like, that's something so not Tony Schiavone to say. Oh, too funny. Too funny. Gotta love Tony Schiavone. One of the best parts of MLW Fusion, really. He is. If you're not sold on this show, or if you got friends that are like, I don't want to watch that, and they're like, they might be older fans like me, just tell them Tony Schiavone is on it. They'll be like, oh. So, not a bad thing. But yeah, this this match was all over the place. These two teams going back and forth, just kicking the crap out of each other. Tremendous action on the outside, from the ring to the outside. Tables breaking, tables not breaking. This one table, another funny moment was what was like Penta trying to get this table that they were trying to make break like 2 or 3 times throughout the match, and it just would not break. Guys were just bouncing off the table, and then the table went boom on its side. It's probably something that's going to end up in the Botchamania, the weekly Botchamania specials on botchamania.com or whatever website that is. And that's not a knock on the wrestlers. Sometimes you just got stuff like that that just goes wrong. And it's funny. I mean, it's painful, obviously. These tables are supposed to break, but this looked like one of those really old school tables with the steel frame around it, not the little weak metal ones that just snap and explode like that. But yeah, so good. What about a super show together of Impact versus MLW in 2019? Thumbs up emoji. Yes, I would love to see that. Maybe. I'd say if I had to predict time-wise, I would predict, because right now everything's pushing from here to WrestleMania weekend. That's what everybody's really trying to set up right now. I would say look for that maybe if they're going to second half of the year. That complete speculation, but that's a great idea. I would love to see that. And there's no reason why I can't, put on a big super show, big middle of summer thing, somewhere, some big city like, Chicago or something. Then I could drive down there and see it. How about at the Sears Center, where All In was? Who knows? Book it. But yeah, tremendous tag team match. Lucha Brothers, I don't know how they did, but they retained their championships, and finally Conan getting one up on Selena De La Renta and her crew. But I got to give respect to Selena De La Renta. I mean, oh my God, those Parks on fire in this match just did not come through. Heard a few months ago Melissa Santos is coming to Impact Wrestling, and she said she doesn't know what her role will be yet, but she heard since. It makes sense because, I mean, her husband's there, and he's champ, and he's in a very big role there in Impact Wrestling. No, there's no reason why we couldn't have it. I think they should. I agree. Nothing against the ring announcer that they have there now, but if you want someone to really fire up the crowd, Melissa Santos certainly is one that can do that. I think Impact should snatch her up before some other company does. Just saying. So yeah, hell of an episode for MLW Fusion, especially that tag team match. Oh my goodness. And it's always fun to see what's up and coming in the weeks ahead. And certainly looking forward to Sammy Guevara's match against the debuting Roosh next week. It's like Christmas coming early. Can't wait for that. And I know we kind of went all over the place talking about different things, so thank you for bearing with me. But I blame that on my lovely chat room that's always throwing different stuff at me, and then my ADD kicks in, and so I just follow it. I love my chat room. I really do. You guys always bring good comments and good discussions and keep me on my toes. And much love to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back here later tonight for some House of Hardcore discussion and also a little talk about what happened that night with me personally. And I don't talk about personal stuff that much on here. I usually just keep it pretty low key. But we'll just say something happened that night that kind of just took me out of everything. So if it seems like I'm giving a half-ass review of the House of Hardcore show, you'll understand why. Okay? So, but I'll talk about who I met and who I got some autographs from and stuff. And overall, the evening, even though it was rainy, it was cold, and me and my wife felt like crap because the weather affects our health. Unfortunately, with bad backs and all that kind of just stuff. I know you don't like to hear. You don't want to hear about that, but that's just me being real. So, yeah, we'll talk about that later tonight. We'll crack a couple cold ones. Please join me. It'll be a little later. Somewhere a little before, a little after midnight-ish, after, everyone's done pissing and moaning about a 3-hour show that sucks balls. Oh, yeah. Look out. Already getting excited for it. So, yeah, we'll be back later tonight. Join me for that, and thanks for tuning in now. And don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. We're in the 570s. Trying to get that number up, folks. Spread the word for Smash This Podcast. And, baby, it's cold outside. There are T-shirts and, more importantly, sweatshirts for the brand in the description below. Go get yourself some smashing swag for the holidays. That badass logo made by the folks at rantwithant.com. Thanks for the love there. The award-winning rantwithant.com if you didn't hear. And if you missed this and you came in late and you want to see the replay, it will be up on wrestlingwithwrestling.com a little later. So much love, everyone. See you later tonight.